Hi, I'm Jim Fannin. Welcome to Living in the Zone podcast. So how have you been in the last week? I hope this finds you in a purposeful, calm zone state. But I bet you might have a challenge because most of us on this planet are walking a gauntlet of negativity. By the time we wake up, by the time we go to bed, we've gone to the bank, we've gone to the store, we've gone to the office, we've gone to school for our kids, and we've met a lot of people. And we're finding today, 2025, there's more negativity, more negative news coming at us from every angle. It is an overload of negativity, and it's even permeated a fourth grade class. It's permeated our children. They're talking negative. They're actually worrying. What is going on, world? We need to get our act together, and we're going to do it right now. And if you really care about peak performance in your life, getting rid of all this negativity so you can lead a simple, balanced, positive, abundant life, if that's where you want to go, this podcast is for you. It's going to help you put the zone on, like a lot of my clients have said, like an overcoat, that invincible feeling that nothing can go wrong. And if you're looking to do that, Living in the Zone podcast is for you. And if you're a parent, a teacher, a coach, and somebody that you love, you care about, you work with all the time, needs this information, please share, please like, please subscribe so that I can get you the information to help you be the best that you can be. Let's get on to figuring out, how do we handle all this negativity? Because it's unprecedented right now. You know, I've never seen this negativity in my life. And when I say walk a gauntlet, I wake up in the morning, good morning, everybody, hi, I put a smile on my face, I walk out into the world, and all of a sudden, drivers are negative. I go to grandma's house, and there's negativity there. There's negativity everywhere. And not overt negativity where it's so blatantly obvious. I'm talking negativity that kind of seeps in, and the next thing you know, you're in the middle of it and didn't realize it. Let me give you some real-world examples. When you go home, you've got a significant other and maybe one kid, maybe two kids, maybe four kids. How do you go home? Do you go home with the doors locked from your business of where you've been? You've closed it, and now you're getting ready to go home? Positive, 90-second rule. I'm going to walk in, and I'm going to look my significant other in the eye long enough to discern her eye color, and if she's in a negative way, I'm going to mirror that negativity because I don't want her to be negative, and I don't want to be negative. I'll mirror and go, are you okay? And then I'll bring her up to peak performance. But if she's already there, I'll start there. What's going on? But I am not dragging negativity home. I'm not going to tell her about the deal I lost. I'm not going to tell her about the presentation I screwed up. I'm not going to tell her about the phone call with one of the employees that ended badly. Why do I need to go there? She can't do anything about it, so don't go there. There's negativity everywhere. And if you look at our family relationships, going to my brother's house with his kids, going to my sister's house with her kids, Thanksgiving's coming up. It's coming pretty quick. And we're all going to get together. You know what it's like. A couple of cocktails in. There's negativity. There's politics. There's different sides. There's people upset. I've never seen it like this. And I believe this year, this holiday season is going to be one of the toughest that we've ever had. Why? Uncertainty. There's uncertainty everywhere. How's your comfort zone in terms of uncertainty? How much uncertainty do you need to have to where you're not comfortable? Now you got the little spoogies, a made-up word I have that I don't know what to do with my energy. That is happening everywhere. Uncertainty. How about certainty? Maybe it's not certain anymore. Or certainty, now my confidence is so high, maybe I don't need a plan. but we do. Why? Because chaos is another comfort zone. How much chaos in a family setting, in a business setting, in a sports setting puts you out of your comfort level, where you're biting that piece of skin on the inside of your mouth, where you're biting your fingernails, where you're worried, where you're holding your throat because you're feeling the pressure because the energy's backing up like a toilet and it's going right into your jaw. And now I'm fatigued. We talked about framing last week. We'll talk about a little bit more. Are you getting up tired, getting up fatigued, getting up with approaching the day with dread? Well, that's from what you've thought, and all that negativity from yesterday, you packed it into a couple of thoughts right before you went to sleep. Let's talk about negativity. Well, I should have talked about that last week. Wow, Jim, is that a positive statement you just made, or is that a negative statement? That's a negative statement, Jim. Shoulda, coulda, and woulda. We say those words all the time as a society. As a peak performance coach, coaching an Olympic gold medalist, those words are forbidden. Those words will not give you an edge over elite competition. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Yeah, we could have done that, but get off your butts. Get off your butts. Those are qualifying statements of maybe, or it could have happened, if, when, however. Be decisive. Be decisive. A baseball player, I hit solid. A businessman, I provide a price at a price they can afford. A car salesman, I improve their mode of transportation at a price they can afford. You quit selling cars. You quit closing deals. You make it more influential. You get the negative out of it. So right now, where's the negativity in your life? We all have an inner circle of people that we love, that we care about, and that we see every single week. And if we don't physically see them, we talk to them, at least by phone or Google Meet or Zoom. Who are these people? Okay, well, I can take myself. I've got a wife. I've got 2 daughters. I got 2 grandkids. I got a son-in-law. I've got people that work in my company, team members of mine. I've got to look into each arena and go, where's the drama in this arena? Where's the negativity? And who's negative? Now, I'm not judging the people in other arenas, but I am observing their SCORE level, which is another word for attitude or mindset. I am looking at their attitude. I'm observing their mindset. And if I see that my daughter has low enjoyment, I'm going to put a smile on my face to get her to put one on her face, to elevate her enjoyment, no matter what it is. But I may look at my other daughter, and she is not confident. And I can tell by the way she's talking. So I need to talk about her strengths. I need to get the conversation about what she does well. I'm an influencer of her confidence, her belief, and her expectation. We're all awake. We're not all aware. And your homework assignment for the next week, I actually want you to hunt for negativity. Hunt like a predator for negativity. Why? I want you to be aware of it. It's so subtle. It's so simple. It's not tough or rough. But you add 2 or 3 of these, then 4 or 5 of these, and 6 of these little subtle shoulda, coulda, woulda, can't, won't. And the next thing you know, you're in a low performance state and you're actually depressed. And right now, you want to know if you have negativity in your life? Let's do the negativity test. You ready? Let's go to your jaw. You got a right jaw and you got a left jaw. Press in on the right jaw. Feeling tenderness? Feeling soreness? If it's sore, then you've had negative thoughts, negative feelings back up like a toilet. energy. Thoughts are kinetic energy, and it backs up and it comes back like a toilet overflowing. And where does that negative energy go? It goes into the right side if I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking about what I might do. Oh my God. I'm thinking about it with dread. I'm thinking about it with a little foreboding. I'm thinking about it of, well, it'll go well. However, if this happens and that, I'm going to talk myself into negativity. But check your other side. Check this side. Well, that's everything that you thought from the past. The negative from yesterday, if you kept thinking about it, and if you thought about it, especially if you've been on the show, you know what you think at night's a big deal. That last 30 minutes, you start thinking negative, my goodness, it's going to be recorded. It's going to be replayed 100, 200 times while you're sleeping. We're on a crusade to absolutely wipe out negativity entering our brain. That's our quest for 7 days. Can you hold off? And I've got a tip at the end, so stay tuned. A tip that one of my high-powered athletes used that blew me away. I can't wait to tell you about it. Pretty exciting. When I saw it, I didn't know what was happening. How can we arrest the negativity from coming into our mind? Well, one of the easiest is a little score check. Am I disciplined? Yes or no? If I'm not disciplined, I stop right there and get disciplined, get a plan. Am I focused? No. Okay, now what? Well, now I need to send my energy somewhere so I can focus better. Am I confident? No, I got a lot of doubts. No. Then put my head up. Say something positive. Think something positive. Talk to myself in a positive way, my inner dialogue. How's my relaxation? Well, obviously, I'm a little stressed out, so what do? Unhinge my jaw and just kind of lower my breathing. How's my enjoyment? Yeah, I'm not having a lot of fun. I'm approaching work actually with dread. I got deadlines I haven't met, and I don't see me meeting future deadlines. How's my enjoyment level? Well, I haven't smiled in a week, so maybe it's pretty low. We're all awake, but we're not all aware of our mindset. And zoniacs, we're aware of more than mindset. We're aware of our discipline, concentration, optimism, relaxation, and enjoyment. And we know where the negativity is coming from. We know what arena it's coming from in our lives. And now we can find some tools to immunize ourselves from those negatives and shore up our mindset so that we don't get impregnated by this negativity. Because I'm telling you, once you start being negative, it's easy to spread negativity to your wife, to your husband, to your children, to your brother, to your family, friends, and it can back up even to the office. And now let's see who's in the zone last week. Let's see who handled all the negatives, because in sports, there's a lot of negativity. Let's see the players that dealt with it the best, and let's see who dealt with it the worst. Who's in the zone? Who's not? Danny Dimes. I never thought in my wildest imagination that I would say that Daniel Jones, the get rid of Daniel Jones crusade in New York, he can't play here anymore. He's not a gamer. He's not a big-time guy. He's inconsistent. And when the money's on the table, this guy folds like a lawn chair. This guy's not a winner. I beg to differ. Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones, the Indianapolis Colts, 316 yards, 2 TDs, 1 run, 1 pass, no mistakes, and he was efficient, and you could feel the positivity. How did he do that? And how did he lead the Colts to a 29-28 victory over the Broncos? Number one, I think he felt free. Free from the media in New York, free from coaching that maybe didn't fit his style. I think he felt comfortable because you could feel that he was in control, in command, and I didn't feel he was looking over his shoulder with shoulda, coulda, woulda. I don't think he had that. Very disciplined, very in the moment, focused, confident. Come on, Danny Dimes. You haven't played like this on a big stage. I don't remember, quite frankly. Maybe you did. Daniel Jones, you're in the zone. Now, I've got one that you don't know. There's no chance you can know. This person, I love this person, Barbara Israel. She's a non-professional. She's a golfer, a senior golfer, playing on the senior circuit. She had a club championship. So I've known Barbara for a long time, over a decade. And 10 years ago, at the age of 69, she shot 69 on the last round. She never shot 69 in her life. Shot 69 on her 69th birthday to win her club championship. Barbara, that was awesome, but that was 10 years ago. But this past week, I get a phone call. She's giddy. She's crazy. Remember 10 years ago? Guess what I did now? I go, tell me. I won my club championship again. I shot my age. I go, no way. You shot your age? 79. I'm not supposed to mention it on air. Barbara, if you hear this, I'm sorry. I had to do it. I couldn't help it. But anyway, shooting your age once you're past 60, that is a big deal. Barbara Israel, you're in the zone. And you know what message you said? I still got the S.C.O.R.E system to get me balanced. I had the least amount of thoughts. I stayed out of the past, and I visualized winning the tournament no different than I did 10 years ago. Barbara Israel, you're in the zone. Didn't you like Baker Mayfield's commercials? I thought he was in the zone with State Farm and all the other commercials he's done. Baker, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, game-winning drive. Big money on the table, 4th and 10. You don't convert this, you're going home. 80-yard game-winning drive, pretty amazing. All the way down to no time left. The Texans were in shock that Baker Mayfield came from behind. How did he do that on a big stage, Monday Night Football? How did that happen? He visualized doing it. You could see him on the sidelines shutting his eyes, being calm. I think he was doing what we call a reboot. I think he was getting into the moment to ratchet up his focus because you could feel him. So could the linebackers, so could the D-backs. They could feel his energy that he's coming after you, and I'm driving this football 80 yards down your throat. And he did with his legs and his arm. Baker Mayfield, the money was on the table. The moment of truth arose. You were disciplined, focused, confident. That's an understatement. You didn't have belief. You didn't have expectancy. I think you actually had a sense of knowing. That's why I love this performance so much, because the odds were so against you. Baker Mayfield, you're in the zone. So who's not in the zone? There's one thing about the Bears. Even if we lose, as long as we beat you up and held you to single digits and we lose the game, somehow we're primordially happy that because we pride ourselves on the Bears defense. From 1985, we can't get out of it. I still see Singletary's eyes. Can't you if you're a fan? But what happened? How did we give up 52 points to the Lions? And Caleb Williams, come on, man. You were anemic. You were a non-factor. I am surprised. That offense was horrific. And Bears fans, you know one thing. Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of QBs throwing 4,000 yards in a season. We haven't. Jim McMahon didn't do it either. But come on, we got to at least move some long drives, 60 yards, 80 yards, 90 yards. Our drives falter over and over again. 3 and out is pretty prevalent. But the biggest thing for the Bears, what happened to our defense? They picked us apart. They shredded us. Unbelievable. Goff had our number. Their offensive prowess was Everything we did, they had a counter to it. Chicago Bears, very disappointed. We're now 0-2. Bears, you're not in the zone. And now let's find out about you. Let's take a deeper dive. I want to know if you're in that zone state, and if you're not, what is your missing link? So right now, let's go to the Zone Cafe. Now, the Zone Cafe is where I'm cooking up in my drive-up window one of 5 things that you can take away. But I want you to focus on your primary arena right now, your business, maybe your sport. Could be your whole life. Maybe parenting is your primary arena. How is your SC.O.R.E level? Are you disciplined? Do you have the willingness, the commitment to stay with a task or some routines to reach well-defined goals that take you to a vision? How clear is your blueprint? And if you have that blueprint and you have the persistence, you have the commitment, then I would say you probably have high self-discipline. So if you don't need that, you can leave it alone. But if you need it, take it for sure. You don't need to get the other ones. This is the linchpin that's going to change everything else in your mindset. How's your self-discipline level? And now let's look at your ability to focus at work, or focus in your pro golf game, or focus in your tennis matches on the weekends. Focus on that club championship in golf, or focus on the Ryder Cup that you want to win this weekend. How is your concentration? Is it 30 seconds and then you're off to something else? How long can you handle being in the moment? How long can you send that energy without it backing up on you, hiding in your muscles? If you need to concentrate longer, and if you need to concentrate especially and keep moments in your sport, your business, or your life, take this concentration right now. Just being aware of it will start to fix it. But maybe you've got S and C wrapped up, but you got a C to doubt. You know, I just got this feeling that I need to do more than I need to do. So I've got this little nagging doubt that I got to do extra. I got to try even more and more and more. If you're having that low self-esteem, that lack of belief, that no expectancy of except what might go wrong, you need the optimism right now. That's the glue that holds everything together. And I'm telling you, if you believe you need that, take it now, and then focus on it for the next 7 days. Whichever one you take, that's what I want you to work on. So that next 7 days from now, when you listen to the next podcast, you're coming in with your head up, your shoulders back, confident of what you've accomplished because your optimism was high in the last week. But maybe you are stressed out. Maybe your business has some financial challenges. It's the end of the third quarter. Oh, that's closing rapidly. Are you ready for Q4? Because snap the fingers, we're in 2026 Q1. Are you prepared? Are you relaxed? Or are you anxious about your P&L statement that's coming out for Q3? Maybe you're anxious about your projections for Q4, or maybe you have total uncertainty about what's going to happen next year in 2026. How's your relaxation level? Can you breathe a little slower, a little deeper, or are you a little hyper, a little worried, a little anxious, a little frustrated? If you are, take the relaxation level. 1 week from now, be aware of it every day. Be aware of your R level so we can fix it. But let's go to the end product of my S.C.O.R.E system, the one that's 50 years old. The end product is enjoyment. Coincidentally, it's the last letter in the word S.C.O.R.E. How's your enjoyment level? I talked to a prospective client just before I got on this podcast, and I said, I knew what he came to see me about. I knew that he had had challenges in the last 30 days. And I said, when's the last time you smiled? And he started laughing. And I go, why are you laughing? He goes, I think that's the first time I've laughed and smiled in at least a couple of days. And be aware of it. If you need more joy and you need to enjoy the journey a little bit more, need a little more pep in your step, stop right there and take enjoyment. The Zone Cafe, find your weak link. Be aware of it. Be aware of it for 7 days. And when I see you next week, I'm looking to see a balanced score level and a Zoniac popping in on the podcast. And now, let's go to the final word. Today's show is about being aware of negativity, knowing where the negativity is, but more importantly, how do I deal with it? And how do I eliminate it in my life? It's very difficult because it's so prevalent. I walked in to the ballpark to see a Major League Baseball player. I'm in the locker room. He's over in the corner by his locker, sitting in a chair, and I'm observing him. And he's all alone, and he pulls out something that seemed imaginary. He pulls out a little case, and he kind of opens it up, and he took something out. I'm seeing nothing, but I'm seeing him pantomime him doing this, and he pulls out something that I wasn't sure what it was, and then he gave himself an imaginary shot in his arm. And as he did that, his shoulders raised up, his head raised up, his shoulders went back, and a smile was on his face. And he looked up and he goes, Jim, what's up? I go, what was that? He goes, oh, I've been doing that. It works. I just gave myself a vaccination. I go, what? A vaccine? Yes, I've immunized myself against zone breakers, score breakers, all negativity. Umpire, blind, called me out. It was a ball. He called it a strike. I'm immunized. It doesn't faze me. The pitcher doesn't faze me. My coaches don't faze me. The opposing people in the stands that want me to choke and just they're not going to bother me. I'm unfazed because I've immunized myself. My skin is thicker. I'm going to be in the zone. Use this imagination of immunizing yourself before you go out in the day and make up your mind. No circumstance, no condition, no situation, no person, no group of people is going to impact my mindset. It's not going to happen. Negativity must go away. I will keep it at bay. But the first thing we need to do is to be aware of it, because sometimes negativity is subtle. We've done it all of our lives. Our grandparents, our parents, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I can't, I won't, this is going to be too hard. Projecting things in the future that may not happen, but boy, that's bothering me. Going over negativity in the past over and over. Are you serious? This is what's happening, everybody. Zoniacs, take charge this next week. Control your self-discipline, concentration, optimism, relaxation, enjoyment. Don't forget, if you need a little extra help, ask Jim at ZoneCoach.com. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow. And if you care about this show and how it can impact someone you care about, make sure and share it to your son, your daughter, your friends, your team on your team that you coach. And let's be in the zone, because that's the best place to be. Next!